Griffith.
Jack.
Dougie.
Jack.
Sam.
That's a nice font.
Hi, my name is Ian George, and I will be giving a story about our backpacking trip in the Rocky Mountain National Park. On August 29th, 2018, my friends Dom, Marty, Brady, Nolan, and I went backpacking at Rocky Mountain National Park in Grand Lake, Colorado. On the first day, we got to the trailhead and started on our journey. It was 8 miles to the campsite, and we had 50 pounds each on our back. The first thing we saw was a moose, and it was way bigger in person than I thought it would be. 2 miles into the trip, we saw a ledge, and Marty and Dom wanted to climb it, and I was down for it too. Brady and Nolan stayed behind because they were not up for going to the top, and they were concerned for their safety. I'm pretty scared of heights, but climbing up, I trusted that I wouldn't fall. And at the top, it was all worth it because we saw the trees down below and the mountains in the distance. 4 miles into our journey, we came across a waterfall that we decided to stay at and drink the water with our life straws, and then fill our water bottles and put the tablet that we had inside the water bottle so that it'd purify. After that, about 6 miles into the journey is when the legs started getting tired and my shoulders were sore from carrying all the weight on my back. Once we got to the campsite, we set our stuff down, and Marty and I were gonna share a tent. We had not set up yet, and Nolan goes over to right where we're about to put our tent and throws up for the first time. Marty and I get mad at him and tell him to puke in the woods next time. So Nolan goes to the woods and pukes 2 more times. We set our stuff up and eat our food and then go to sleep and prepare for the next day. The next morning, we decided to go up this trail 4 miles to the lake, and then we planned on going another mile after that to the second lake. It was all uphill, very inclined, and we were glad that we didn't have to take our backpacks or anything with us. We got up to the first lake, and it was very beautiful. We decided to take pictures of it, and right as we got to the top, it started drizzling a bit. Dominic and Nolan said they wanted to go back because they didn't want to go the extra mile to the next lake, and it was raining just a little bit. But Marty and Brady said that we should keep going since we already made it so far. We decided to push on, and as we were going, that decision started to become a bad one because the rain started getting harder and harder, and our clothes were getting wetter and wetter. Get to the second lake, and it was way cooler than the first lake, way bigger, a lot of trees around it, and it seemed worth it at the time, but our clothes were soaked, and I had said before that it felt like I had jumped in the lake. But on the way back, Nolan and Dom were tired and wanted to take stops, but Marty and Brady continued on, and so I stayed back with Nolan and Dom. Nolan threw up a couple times on the way down, and once we got back to the site, Brady and Marty were waiting for us. Marty had informed me that I left the tent open because we did not expect it to rain, and all my stuff got soaked. And I had also left my backpack outside that got soaked as well. So we got changed of clothes, and I was only able to change my pants because Marty's pajamas were the only things that didn't get wet, and decided to head back early to the car, which was another 8 miles back. And then Nolan at this time seemed like he was about to die, and we were all concerned for him being able to make it back another 8 miles. So on the way back, my shoes were soaked, socks were soaked, and the only dry piece of clothing I had was the pajamas. We tried to not take any stops on the way back besides for water and when Nolan had to throw up. Once we got back to the car, we were relieved, and we were excited that the end of the trip would end with us going to an Airbnb where we could have a bed to sleep in. In conclusion, it was a great experience, even though Nolan threw up and we all kind of struggled, but it was just a great experience, and I would do it again. Nolan ended up going to the doctors once he got back in Omaha and found out that he had poison oak on his leg and had to stay in bed for 3 days afterwards. I'd recommend backpacking to everyone because it's an experience that you won't get anywhere else.